So I never intended on doing a nativity painting. And when the idea came to me, I resisted it. What could I possibly add to the nativity story that's been told hundreds of times through centuries of paintings? But the idea persisted, and so I gave in. I decided to begin with a study in the scriptures. I went to Luke 2, and I realized with all that Hollywood has built up about the night of the Savior's birth, all we really know is that Mary brought forth her firstborn son. She wrapped him in swaddling clothes. She laid him in a manger. And that was it. And because that was so simple, I suddenly felt like I could undertake this painting. I started with researching mangers, and I came across the work of archaeologist Jeffrey Chadwick, who told me that the mangers were made out of limestone. They didn't have a lot of wood in Jerusalem, and anything that they could make out of limestone they did, especially household items as a manger. He also told me they didn't collect and store hay because grass grew year-round, so the mangers were used for water. Then I went on to the swaddling bands, and I learned that in their culture, the women would actually embroider the swaddling bands. When a girl became betrothed, she would begin working on the bands, and she would embroider them with symbols of her heritage. Mary was of the house of Judah, which the symbol for Judah was a lion, and she would have used the royal colors of blue and white. As I learned these three distinct ideas, I decided the painting could be very simple. So I borrowed my friend's 7-day-old baby. I wrapped him in some linen that I had embroidered, and I laid him on a limestone manger. And I had a photo shoot. Then I worked on my painting, and I worked on the painting for several weeks. And I was thinking the whole time, this is so cool. Look at all this new information that I've learned. And never really understanding the full purpose behind it until the very end. I was almost done with the painting, and this question came into my mind. Jenedy, when else in his life will he be wrapped in white linen and placed on a stone? And as I stood back, I realized that these simple elements that we know about that night were symbols that would foreshadow his purpose and mortality. He was wrapped in white linen and placed on an altar of sorts, foreshadowing the great and last sacrifice that he would offer. And so I decided to title the painting Little Lamb. This was particularly poignant to me because it had only been 2 years since I had buried my firstborn son. And so as I thought of the phrase, "For God so loved the world," I knew a little bit about what that meant. And my heart was so full of gratitude that God would not only give us his son, but that he would send him in a way that would show to all the world that he was to be the great and last sacrifice. What greater gift could God have given us? What comfort and joy. I hope that as you see this image this Christmas season, that you will feel that love, that immeasurable love the Father has for you. And I hope that it brings light into your life. Merry Christmas.